fits of giggles. Aira, he would say, tapping her eyebrows and then her nose with each syllable. Tomo, she'd giggle back, flicking his ears then his nose. Isla's grandfather's name had been Yoshitomo, but everyone in Scotland had called him Tom. I will finish what you started, Grandad. She would find the truth about Hisakichi Kuroki. Was he a samurai or a lowly peasant? Had he fought alongside one of the most famous Japanese historical figures of all time? Grandad would never know, but Isla would. Part of her wanted to vow she wouldn't return to her university accommodation in Tokyo until she knew for sure. The thought summoned Mum's stern face to her mind. Maybe it would be better to just work fast. Though she was a quarter Japanese, Isla had inherited the bright red hair of her Scottish father's side, and her fiery locks, feathered into layers, barely brushed her shoulders. She tucked a stray strand behind her ear, checking the time on her flip phone. It was a new Motorola Razr, a gift from Dad, just before she started her study abroad year in Japan. Not that she could do much with it here, except take pictures. Isla noted the battery was getting low, and she told herself to remember to charge it once she had made it to the hotel. Wandering alone along the riverside was peaceful, stones crunching beneath her trainers, and the wind cold on her skin. It was healing to be here, away from the drama of home. A sharp pain that had nothing to do with her grandfather joined the melancholy in her heart. Maybe now she had some time away. She could learn to forget about him. Isla scowled and looked out at the faint outline of the city landscape. She would not let her ex-boyfriend ruin this special time for her. Isla drew close to the Museum of the Meiji Restoration, a modest and unassuming building that was nothing like the towering skyscrapers of Tokyo. Perhaps she would find answers here. Along the way were signposts, displaying snippets of the past and details on historical figures. There was even a traditional samurai house of wooden floors, a slate roof, and sliding washi paper doors, and Isla took a quick look inside. A bird flitted past and landed on the skeletal branch of a tree, chirping. Though it was a weekend, it was quiet here, away from Tenmonkan Street, where people wandered to cafes and walked their dogs among the scent of ramen noodles and sweet rice cakes. January was a perfect time to travel. After the excitement and holidays in the new year, barely anyone was around. The crowds of Tokyo often made her impatient. Everyone moved too slowly for her liking. Visiting the museum to find information on an obscure person from the past was a long shot, Isla knew. She had found nothing in textbooks or newspaper archives that mentioned her third great-grandfather. Only the most famous and influential samurai had been mentioned. But it felt important for her to be here, to taste the history, to walk the lands her ancestors had. Granddad's wishes aside, Isla was more than a little curious herself about where she had come from. She read everything she could in the museum, even struggling through the long passages of Japanese and wishing for the 1,000th time she was more practiced in kanji, the more complicated alphabet. She learned about how the samurai tried and failed to take Kumamoto Castle, how they spent months fighting imperial soldiers, and how it all kicked off after the army sent a warship to Kagoshima City, of the Satsuma province, as it was called back then, at the end of that January to confiscate their weapons and ammunition. Someone caught them and raised the alarm, unleashing the rage of Takamori Saigo's samurai. It was an arresting idea. Hundreds of angry samurai, armed with whatever they could find, chasing off the emperor's soldiers until they